Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Slormancer. It is a indie hack and slash action RPG, more or less a Diablo-like, that's been in development since 2020. I think it's been on Steam since 2021. It's been a long time since I played the initial demo for this, and I've been waiting pretty expectantly for it to finally come out in 1.0, which it is. So we're just going to dive right in. It looks like I have to start a new save file, either because my old save file's on a previous computer, or it's just wait for the 1.0. No idea. Brian McRipped, you're the man. So much strength. Come on, one more. What is happening? There you are. We've been waiting for you. First of all, my name's Brian McRipped. You may have heard of me. I'm the champion of this kingdom. I'm in charge of keeping the people safe thanks to my incredible muscles. I could talk all about myself all day long, but we don't have much time. Strange things are happening in the graveyard of Adriart. Skeletons are coming out of the ground and spreading terror. It is the gravedigger who has given us the mission to fight and defeat them so that he can return to work as soon as possible. However, I am facing a problem of a personal nature, which unfortunately prevents me from taking care of this quest. That's why I'm calling on great adventurers like you. The innkeeper told me that he'd find me strong candidates, and I must say I am quite surprised. Nonetheless, I only need one person for this mission. Who'd like to participate? We can play the Mighty Knight. Did you say fight? Ah, well then, that won't be possible. I have solid armor, but it's absolutely not enough to compensate for my weak damages and my total ineptitude to elemental magic. I would be completely useless. Not me. I came because I was told there'd be croissants. I have so little resistance and vitality that it's ridiculous. Yes, I have a decent attack speed, but my damage is non-existent. I'm not an appropriate choice at all. My grandfather forced me to come, so pretend I don't exist. Yes, I can cast a spell or two, and they are rather devastating, but as much for me as others, I'm a real public danger. We can change it at a later date. You know, I haven't really played the mage, so let's give the mage a shot. Well, I would have preferred someone else, but we'll just have to make do with. I can see you're lacking equipment. Why don't you start by visiting old Adam Nostris at the east end of the village and ask him to give you one of my old weapons, and then come back to me. Oh, and pick up my protein drink on the way. Chief Jean-Pierre prepares it for me. I've lost his voice. The village is not that big, but I took the liberty of marking these 2 points on your map. You never know. I don't know. Okay. I'll have Flopsy the mage is. Okay. Okay, there we go. This is the king. King's just hanging out outside. Hello, young man. Brian didn't send you to get his protein drink, didn't he? Did he? This doesn't seem like the most functional kingdom. Hey there, adventurer. Hello, my name is Adam Nostris. Among many other things, I'm in charge of the Shrine of Champions of Ra that's in front of you. Brian McRipp sent you, didn't he? I keep his old weapons. They're very precious. He's a champion of Ra, after all. I'm yawning, you're yawning. I should be able to give you something, yes. Let me observe you. I see. Maybe there's no. Yes, that's for sure. I've got the right weapon for you. It didn't belong to Brian. But I think it fits a profile as atypical as yours. It's a Slorm Reaper, a weapon that reaps the Slorm out of defeated enemies. They're usually restricted to champions, but you should be fine. Bring it back to me when you're done, and good luck! We get Adam Nostris' staff. New Slorm Reaper found. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of different weapons in this game. Can I talk to him through here? No, I have to go around. I have no time to waste with an adventurer. You want to steal cheese from me, is that it? Ah, you're here for Brian's drink. I didn't have time to make it, but there's everything you need on the table right there. You just have to follow my instructions scrupulously. This is a brand new recipe I received this morning. I'd like to know what he thinks about it. So you don't have time for it, but you can watch me do it. Okay, piece of paper that says Proton the drink for true champions. Comes the recipe. Dose of protein and water in a flask. Shake. For larger muscles, add a spoonful of rat poison. Last line looks suspicious, yet you're not a cook and you've been told to follow the instructions carefully, and Chef Jean-Pierre is not very friendly. You follow the recipe meticulously. It's ready. You know, all things considered, Deserved. This is such a goofy run animation. Almost looks like our hands are in our pockets. I'm so strong. There we go. Okay. Hi. Ah, there you are. I see you found a weapon. Now we can get to it. Did you think about my protein shake? Thank you. Poisoned. My drink. I'm dying over here. What happened to me? In the name of Ra, I am completely dead. That's the end of me. My divine body, my muscles, my silky blonde hair. Just look at me, what I have become. This is a disaster. Okay, Brian, you're dead. It's not the end of the world, you've been through other trials. Not that bad, you just need a backup plan. Well, it's decided you're on your own. I'm going to well, that's new. What happened to the others? Help! Sir Brian, help! It's a disaster. All of the villagers have disappeared. Help us, Sir Brian. What the? Sir Brian, this is a disaster. Sir Brian is dead. Our champion is dead. Everything is over. Things are getting out of hand. So much for retirement. If I lack anything better, I think you're gonna have to get us out of this mess. Let's start by going to see the king. Beware, the village is no longer safe. Well, I can shoot the skeleton at the very least. Kill an enemy, get some stuff. Found equipment. Could go into the inventory to equip it. Don't know how much I actually deeply care about that. Okay. It's a disaster, my faithful Alastor, my dear Alina, gone. Ah, who are you? Ah, yes. You're the adventurer. All is not lost after all. Did you see what happened? Everything was going well when suddenly a blue flash, and everyone was gone. There's also a huge seal on my door. I can't get inside anymore. You're gonna help me, aren't you? That's strange. I don't think he can see me. I also feel like this apparition of this mysterious seal, or the apparition of the mysterious seal and the disappearance of the villagers happened right after my death. Could it be that we should take a closer look at that seal? I knew it. I recognize these symbols. This is a Slormancer symbol. It can only be him. That vile scoundrel must have planned my assassination. His plan is now in motion. He knew that only a champion like me could oppose his immense powers. Oh my god. The Slormancer is back. Listen, we can hear voices behind the door. Here we go. The champion is dead. I've deprived the king of his castle. A very slick move. All we have left to do now is take care of Alina so that I can finally get my old powers back. Yes, master. Well, well, someone is listening. I thought I made everyone disappear. That's fine. I have other options. Phew. I mean, it works. Okay. What just happened? Did you touch the seal? It's confusing. My faithful Alastor would know what to do. We must find him. I sent him on a mission to the harbor before the disaster. Could you find what happened to him? Yes, let's go find Alastor. Maybe he knows what to do. Yeah, part of the problem is the variety of voices, especially old man voice, instantly makes me sleepy, and it's already kind of a sleepy day for me. I'm extremely susceptible to pressure changes. Oh, hello. I'm extremely susceptible to pressure changes, and it's, I think we went up 40 degrees in 12 hours, and we're going back down 40 degrees in 12 hours. And let me tell you, that's not great for my head. You took a hit, ouch. And if your life goes down, okay, well that's fine, we don't care. Well, what a strange experience. I've just had some very weird, I've just seen some very weird things inside. Thanks for getting me out of there. Is the king safe? I must talk to him about my terrible discovery. Let's meet in front of the castle. I also only have like so many older man voices. I should probably workshop some more, but I haven't been voice acting much lately, which is something I should probably work on. Well, my brave Alastor, what happened to you? My lord, I was on my way to the harbor when I suddenly found myself in some kind of prison made out of shadows and slorm. Everything was dark and slimy. I saw all sorts of strange things, but most of all I saw him. Him watching me. My lord, he was described in the tales sinister and terrifying. There's no possible doubt about his identity. Oh my god. The Slormancer. He's the one behind this. I suspected it. He's the best. He chose the best moment to act. All is lost without the champion of Hurrah. No one can defeat Oh my god, except for Hurrah himself. We should all flee, or we should flee to all legs. And abandon my castle and my village, never. We must think of a plan. I have a plan. We are going to destroy that seal, open that door, and defeat Oh my god. My lord, brilliant idea, but the seal is not like any other seal. The Slormancer seal. It's indestructible and unbreakable. You say the seal is indestructible and unbreakable. That's not a problem. I know the existence of a relic, the destroyer of indestructible and unbreakable seals. All we have to do is go get it. My lord, brilliant idea, but like all relics, the destroyer of indestructible and unbreakable seals has been hidden in the depths of the earth. It's buried under the crypt of the McRipt and deep inside the graveyard of Ardriart. I know it well, my faithful Alistor, but the graveyard is right next door. We have to go there and dig it up to put my plan into action. But my lord, brilliant idea, but to dig up a relic we need a shovel. Unfortunately, Pedro the Gravedigger owns the one and only shovel in the kingdom. Then we must find Pedro. In order to find his shovel, in order to dig up the destroyer of the indestructible and unbreakable seals, in order to destroy the seal and defeat Oh my god. But my lord, brilliant idea. Oh my god, this is just going back and forth. But who's going to do all that now that the champion is dead? Well, that young adventurer is just the person we need. Well, we should start by searching the graveyard. We'll probably find Pedro there. The entrance is right next to my shack. Okay. Well, I guess we're just gonna get out of here. Do we have a dash? Not yet. And his body is just gonna sit there. Fair enough. Come on, let's get that Pedro the Gravedigger. And now we're actually into the proper game itself. Interesting. I don't think I've really put effort into this character. It looks like we've got kind of orbs that we're conjuring. Okay, emblem, schools of magic. Emblem grants attack speed, arcanic emblem. Interesting. Whenever you cast a spell, you get an emblem that school of magic. Interesting. So we can use them on various tasks as well. I don't think I put a whole lot of time and effort into this class back when this was in early access. Okay, so we get, yeah, level up. At some point we get skills and abilities as well, which I'll look into. We also have achievement, no mercy for potters. I don't know if it gives us a reward though. Or maybe we get it for maxing it out. I don't know. Whenever you level up, you get an attribute point. So we can put this in and get something. Whoops. No. No, thank you. Not investing in those yet. So we have extra elemental damage, attack speed, movement speed. The thing is, a number of these also have, like, passives that are actually quite useful. Max mana, ancestral strike. Yeah, this is... okay. Oh gosh, there's so much. Ugh. And I only have 2 points. The problem is I'm going to need mana regen. Oh, I guess if I check the end of this. No? What? So that gives plus 28 mana regen. And then it looks like some of these increase the mana regen flat, which is good. Because I think that's what we're going to need more than anything else. At least at the moment. Alright. Anything? Onwards. Now I'm going to be kind of just speedballing this. We don't really need anything. And the enemies themselves are weak enough that I don't really have to try. What we do need is probably a better weapon. Okay, so if we do attributes C. Yeah, so this is how we get extra abilities, but I need to be a high level. Also have the Ancestral Legacy, which is the massive Path of Exile style talent tree. But I think it's a little bit more specific, like these are actual moves and passives that we can learn. Let's see, profile. Let's just take a look at equipment. Can I equip these? Looks like I can. And yeah, we can also swap my weapon out. It can also level up. It gets me life on hit, attack speed, and raw damage. I mean, that's not terrible. But yeah, like I said, I've been looking forward to this coming out in a while. I'm a huge sucker for action RPGs, hack and slash action RPGs. I played just boatloads of Diablo 2 when I was a kid. I never technically, well, no, I've beaten the main game plenty. Like, you know, getting to the end, beating Diablo, beating Baal, stuff like that. That was easy. Never got through the later difficulties. Just, I'd always get distracted and make a new character. Instead, I think it was more fun. I had a conversation with another YouTuber a while ago where they had said that their favorite game is the first half hour or first hour of a hack and slash action RPG. And like, I can see it. You very much are kind of doing the zero to hero element really quickly. And it has like a, it's just extremely satisfying. You know, you're finding your first pieces of equipment, you're getting a bunch of new moves. You can get over, like, kind of into some tiers of equipment. Also have the Ray of Oblivion. New secondary skill. I'm gonna keep investing in this. Looks like we only got one, though. Fine. Yeah, I just want to give myself a bunch of mana regen. Why is that just worse? I guess it's because it shoots a group? I'm not entirely sure. It's got to get better. Presumably. Okay. Anything else? Because, yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to my regular attacks, at least at the moment. Because at least my regular attacks aren't too costly mana-wise. I guess this is where the beam is very good. Okay, so what do these do? It doesn't seem like it actually matters. So all of the orbs do the same thing, it's just based on the spell school. Okay, no mystery for potters. Where are these? Nobody here, let's get back to the village. I can turn into a door, make our travels easier, look. That's confusing, but hey. I appreciate that my Navi is just a ripped dead dude. Okay, level 1 ability. Enemies. Pedro is not in the first part of the graveyard. Let's explore the next area. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit, ain't it? I think we're just going to have to loop through a bunch of these. The game gets a little bit more... I don't think it ever stops being grindy. There's only so many unit types in the game, but... it gets a little spicier as you go along, like rift events and defense things. I guess there are actually a decent amount of enemies that show up just later. But for now, we're just going to be zipping. Okay, Mastery reached Arcane Missile. New upgrades available. Student will become the Master. Okay, so we have a Mastery level. We can invest points into these. They do increase my mana costs, but also change things. So Arcane Missile has no cost if you have less than 13% mana. Huh. That's actually extremely good. Extra attack speed. And whenever you or an Arcane Clone casts Arcane Missile, you also cast a Remnant of Arcane Missile a few minutes later. I'm going to need more Slorm for that, though. Okay. I'll level this up a couple of times. I might as well. Because that boosted my damage by a bit. Not enough. No, we can two-shot a couple of these guys. But also means, yeah, we don't have to worry about its costs. Here we go. Yeah, I've got oodles of achievements, but I don't know how many of them I actually need to care about. I'm a huge sucker for games where achievements are actually, what was I going to say? Where completing an achievement, hey, new unit type, and gave me a decent chunk of money. Where achievements actually give you things. Money, equipment, talent points, stats, stuff like that. even just like kind of little things makes achievements that much more worth collecting. That if it's purely just for the achievement and nothing more, then I have no interest. Not exactly in the same vein. I've been playing a lot of board games lately. It's kind of becoming, I don't want to say an obsession of mine. I mean, I guess parts of it are. So I guess this means that I maybe don't need to put a whole lot of points into mana if I don't want to. Evasion, raw damage. Armor max life, raw damage, crit damage. Evasion, penetration. Cast a skill in combat. Chance to restore life. Huh. Equal to its mana cost. Mana on hit. Life regen. Damage. Slorm Reaper damage. And what's the last one? Slormfine influence gain. So I think this one just scales up my movement speed. I mean, actually getting up to rank. Even just that one for 5% or 15% more Slormfine isn't terrible. I don't know. I'll think about these. Okay. Let's see. What is it going to talk about with board games? So, this is going to sound kind of, I don't know, weird. Maybe weird. It's not an unusual thing. I just can't think of any video games off the top of my head. But there's so many video games, board games out there with like goal cards. Like, here's your objective, whatever it is. And by completing it, it's just like, congratulations, you've done it. Or like, here's some cash or something like that. And it gets boring being in that, put in that position over and over again. Like, points are fun. Obviously, like, winning or beating the game is kind of enjoyable. But I wish there were more games that specifically had, like, you know, hey, if you complete this goal, you get a randomized, like, big or unique upgrade. Rescue a villager that was trapped inside the breach. Make his way back to Atreus on his own. You'll be able to talk to him when you get out. All right. You also get the chainmail mantle. Thanks for getting me out of there. It was a weird experience. What? You need a shovel. You come to the right person. I have a great shovel, but let's get back to the village first. You go ahead. I'll meet you there. Okay, just head home. But one of the board games, I guess it's a board game. I'm thankful to you for getting me back. You're looking for a shovel, aren't you? Well, I have one. It's a very special shovel. It's used to dig holes, but not only that. Thanks to my brilliant modifications, my shovel is able to point north. Call it the shovel compass. And I really care about it. But I lost it, or should I say, I abandoned it. I was digging one of my most beautiful holes with it. A hole that wasn't too deep, nor too irregular, when monsters started coming up from all around me. So naturally, I fled with all my legs, abandoning my shovel compass to its fate. You're going to get it, aren't you? Not should be too far from where you found me. Let's go get that shovel compass. I don't think really Pedro has much. Optional missions are available. Allow you to unlock other character classes. So yeah, if we want to, we can go get the Huntress or the Knight. I'm going to ignore them. Left my shovel compass a little further away. You should be able to easily find it, if only a villain didn't snatch it from me. Alright. Might actually be like a mid-boss or something. But one of the board games, it is a board game, but one of the things Shell and I have gotten into as part of this is Warhammer. Not 40k, it's just AOS. But one of the like alternate game modes is kind of like a much smaller thing. You know, usually when you think of Warhammer, it's like big armies and stuff. But they actually have some smaller game modes called Warcry and Underworlds. And we got into those a little bit because, well, I mean, they were cheaper and a little bit more accessible at the time. You know, you want to get a big army in Warhammer, that's some serious cash. Whereas, like an Underworld set is easy to pick up and play. Pick up, assemble, and play. And one of the mechanics in Underworlds that I found myself, like, extremely drawn to is the idea that, like, you have goal cards that you're drawing every single round. or every single round, every single turn. I think there's only like 3 actual turns in the game, but it's split up into smaller rounds for each, not each character. You just get to do an action, then your opponent does, and vice versa, and like back and forth a couple of times. But between like combat turn rounds, whatever you want to call them, you draw goal cards, and by completing goal cards you get a currency that you can then spend on permanent upgrades for your units that last for the rest of the match. And I found that actually an extremely compelling system. I guess it's no different like quests and other things, but on a personal level with like achievements, I wish more of them were like that. You know, if like completing an achievement, you get a bit of currency. Eventually you can spend that currency on something useful, like, hey, I just wish I moved faster, or, you know, hey, you know, here's a weapon blueprint for something I haven't been able to find yet. Book smash. Okay, might have some new skills to play around with. Alright, let's start by taking a look at this. I do actually have enough that I could grab this one. I guess we could try it. Okay, so that's equipped. Ah, but you can only have one of these equipped per tier. And that gives me a bunch of mana regen, which we may or may not need. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but I'm firing twice now, which should speed things along. Because yeah, with that extra mana regen, oh, this is much quicker. Because yeah, it feels like a lot of games just have achievements there just because people want to collect them. But I hate to say it, but I'm somebody that kind of needs an intrinsic reward when it comes to like bonus stuff like that. Like if it came with cool ability unlocks, even character skins can make it worth it as long as the character skin is cool. Though there's a very real possibility I'll eventually hit kind of that threshold where it's like, I have the best character skin in the game, why would I care about any of this other stuff? I think that's a tricky balance to make, but I think it still remains like one of the more compelling ways to have completionism work. It's not a bullet heaven, or it's not a hack and slash action RPG, but one of my favorite bullet heavens is Rogue Genesia. I think this is actually true of a lot of bullet heavens, that they're, do we want to try Book Smash? Sure. Okay, that seems kind of fun. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to use it, considering the regular staff shot's pretty good. But, let's see. Rogue Genesia is one of my favorite bullet heavens. I just think it's a really well-made game. It is titanic, which is maybe a bit tricky, but completing achievements and certain optional objectives unlocks like a lot of new meta progression options or new moves in gear and equipment. And I found it to be extremely compelling doing achievement hunting in that one, unlike so many other games. Like I liked achievement hunting and Binding of Isaac, but I did find it a little repetitive. I could go on a run and only maybe get like 1 or 2 achievements, and like maxing that out was going to take forever. Kind of the same thing with Rogue Genesia, but at least it had meta progression, so it's kind of one of those where it's like, I have multiple of these things that I'm working towards simultaneously, and so that makes it feel that much more kind of compelling and enthralling, whereas like, for me with Binding of Isaac, I don't know, just after X number of runs, I'm kind of done with the game and I don't want to put more time into it. I think that is kind of a universal issue with a lot of bullet heavens. Not bullet heavens, a lot of games, roguelikes especially, of the like, no, I've actually just like gotten my fill on this game, I don't really want to sink more time into it. It always boggles my mind that I put like 100 episodes into Slay the Spire before I stopped. But, I mean, I don't know. Slay the Spire is that good. Okay, I actually really do appreciate they have a lot more units. I don't think the Book Smash is very good. I do appreciate that it is like this goofy book meteor. Oh, interesting. Okay, on a killing streak, increases your percentile slorm find, so that's useful. There's the shovel compass. It's a shovel with a compass in the handle. Compass looks broken and the shovel's all cracked. I'm not sure if it's in any condition to dig a hole. Let's take it back to Pedro. Alright, breach is closed. I think eventually we get more like repetitive areas. My shovel compass, thank you. I was so worried. It's all broken. In this condition, it'll be difficult to dig a hole with it, but it does still point north. It's a compass on a stick. You wouldn't need a compass by any chance, would you? Otherwise, we can fix it. I have a shovel compass repair kit that I left in the central square of the graveyard, a little further away. It's very specific as an object. Let's go get it. Okay, so what else can I put it points into? Okay, so this will give me elemental resistance and... Oh, I see. So life damage reduction, light resistance, shadow resistance, deal crit damage. You have plus life on hit. That's kind of useful. There's a bunch of proc effects that I could kind of go for if I really want to go that direction. I just do not know which is going to be useful. Zeal actually seems pretty good. Elemental damage, max mana, area increased size, damage over time, ancestral strike duration, Attack speed, it's only like a little bit. Projectile speed, some other things. Movement speed, slurm fine. Yeah, raw damage, Reaper damage multiplier. I don't know. I don't know if any of these matter so much. I mean, they do. I'll invest into this one for now. I forgot I found this in the pockets of the unfortunate Brian McRipped. It looked useful, so I thought you'd want to have it. Hey, that's my family signet ring. Oh, I'll take it. It's not like I'm going to be able to use it. Okay, can I actually equip that? B? No. I? There we go. It looks like I can equip it. Not actually very good, though it does have emergency healing, sure. And we might as well equip every bit of gear we possibly can fit. And then I'll figure out which is good later. And I think at the moment, a lot of this is just junk. Like, legitimately not very good. Not worth pursuing. Okay, this does give me some mana regen. Yeah, let's go for that. I don't think I can sell anything yet. So I can sort these, transfer crafting materials. Also have more crafting materials there. Now, can I actually go in here? Hero life total. Boy, there's a lot of stuff. I was wondering if there was a loot filter. There probably is, we just have to find it. Okay, shuffle compass is broken. Found the shovel, I don't need to read that. You guys know what's going on. My shuffle compass repair kit's not in this area, but we do have to go through it. Well, that's strange. My shuffle compass is no longer points north, but in that direction over there. Maybe we should follow the way it's pointing. Or remember right, it points towards portals. Yeah, I'm digging the secondary shot on the attack. That actually is pretty good. So I think that's just a flat 50% damage up, give or take. I don't think I can level it up any further than I already have. But it's still kind of worth it. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming if I scale up other abilities, it's going to do that much more damage. Whereas the other one was like, I guess it also was more damage. But there are enemies here. It's tricky to pull off the killing streak, though. I need more enemies. And so I'm probably going to ignore a lot of the side rooms, because again, almost all of this stuff is meaningless to me. We're mostly just trying to blitz forward. Let's see. Yeah, trying to blitz forward and get to another region. I think eventually you get to go on, like, kind of rift hunts that are much more like, just do whatever you want. And those might actually be worth investing some time and effort into. Okay. Anything else to really say in this one? I don't know, not so much though. I guess one thing that I always think back to with this game was this is one of the first games that I almost got scammed for. So far on YouTube, like, I've managed to avoid getting scammed, hacked, and whatnot. But somebody masquerading as the developers had reached out to me for, you know, I think coverage, but they were offering to send, like, an exe file as a demo, which, no. And I always think about that just in terms of, like, how easy it is for somebody to kind of, like, sneak in and maybe victimize me, you know, send me a phishing link, send me a compromised, you know, exe file that it takes control of my computer, takes control of my channel, and makes me spit out, like, dumb crypto scams or something like that. Like, that seems to be always what it is. My channel suddenly starts spitting out that stuff. It ain't me. Just bear with it for a little bit, and we'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming as soon as I can contact YouTube. It's a little tricky because, unfortunately, my YouTube channel is also connected to my Gmail. And so, like, boy, if they take control of, if hackers manage to take control of my, oh no, it didn't die. Or maybe there were two of them, hard to say. But yeah, if somebody can hack my channel and actually hold on to it for a little while, it might actually be kind of difficult to get a hold of YouTube. Let's see. I mean, they have my phone number, but I don't think YouTube actually cares. You know, most of... well, yeah. Actually, I might as well stick on that topic for a little bit. It's always kind of baffled me a little bit that these big platforms don't try harder to, like, retain people. And so much of that just boils down to the fact that they don't need to. You know, YouTube really could truly replace me with another channel just by, like, tweaking some algorithms, and that'd be it. So it's not really a whole lot of reason for them to be loyal to me as a creator. Which is kind of sad because, you know, this is my primary income, and boy, if I lose that, that's a problem. But I'm always kind of baffled that they have, like, these fancy Titan key, you know, security system things, and you have to buy them for extra money. A villager just came out of the breach. Looks like the shovel compass points in the direction of the nearest breach. We should use it to close breaches and save more villagers. Professor Geranium. Fascinating experience. What an experience. I have to go back to the village and quickly to... Oh, but I see you already have a Slormancer. I'm an expert of myself. Come find me in the village. I could give you a tip or two. But, you know, I appreciate that YouTube has this trend of sending out, like, play buttons and stuff. Are you saying that my shuffle compass can locate breaches? It is really exceptional. We still have to find my shovel compass repair kit. We should visit the villager we just brought back. He'll certainly have things to tell us. See what I was gonna say. But, like, I appreciate that they send me the silver play button, but I do kind of feel like it would be nice if YouTube sent, like, a Titan key with it, or security stuff, or who knows what. My name is Geranium. People call me the Reaper Professor. Slorm Reapers are exciting weapons, you know. They have a soul of their own, awakened by the Slorm. There are many of them, and each has been forged for a champion of a Raw in the past. For some, Slorm Reapers items to collect, others use them for fights. Given your incompetence for combat, you must be a collector like me. You have merit. They are very rare weapons and very hard to find. I see. You use it to fight. I rescued you, asshole. Let me help you. Then let me help you. You're not using it to its full potential at all. Look, click. This is it from now on. Your Slorm Reaper will become more powerful every time you absorb Slorm. Isn't that wonderful? You'll be able to find others during your adventure, but be careful, they're very rare. Come back to me as soon as you find your first one. Okay, so we can find alternate weapons. I do actually really appreciate that the weapons are kind of alternate characters that level alongside you. Okay, so I can just pull that up whenever. Is this guy a merchant? No. Okay, so we're going to Breach Hunter, Graveyard, level 5, and nice and easy. My shuffle compass indicates a breach in this area. Should close it. Cool. Okay. Kind of in the same vein, it's always baffled me a little bit that YouTube doesn't have, like, just basic stuff like health plans or financial management for creators past a certain size. I get why they don't, but, like, it'd be kind of nice to have that as a package deal of, like, hey, you work for us and you're, you know, reasonably valuable to the platform. We'll, you know, we have a group health insurance package or something like that. Which I realize is like a very American thing to say, and like, what am I going to start advocating for next? Company script. But like, our society is so freaking nickel and dimed at this point that like, I can see the merits in our extremely effed up country. And I think about this more often than I wish I had to, just in terms of like, I don't know, it'd be kind of nice if there was just a little bit of that like external support from, you know, some level of defense against getting hacked to just basic services and support systems. And like, I don't know, it could be worse. There's a lot of other more predatory companies. One thing that's always been at least somewhat beneficial is that at least YouTube has yet to renegotiate too many like ad rev changes. I think they did like one or two. I think they did one like a year ago that I think increased their cut just by a little bit. It's kind of just like, I mean, I literally have no choice. It's not like I can say no. But as far as evil overlords go, they've been at least passable. But the longer I do this, the more I think about like, yeah, how long before YouTube decides to go like full mask off evil? It's a weird topic to get on. It's just one of those where it's like hacking to Google, please give me health insurance. I think part of it is I actually know some people that work for Google. And like they get the sweet benefits package. And I'm like, I work for Google too, I guess. Let's see. But part of it is this is one of those games that like you're almost kind of in brain off mode. It's probably a really good game for podcasting. Like just listening to a podcast in the background. Ooh, do we actually have 2 rifts here? Looks like we do. Okay, Arcane Missiles level 4. I don't know if we've unlocked anything new to play with it though. I do actually really like that, the kind of brain off elements of these games. I recognize that like, you know, it is nice to play games that are Staff of Ferocious Affinity. Well, that's cool. So what's this one do? More damage. So more max mana damage. You have more raw damage. Raw damage is equal to 8% of your max mana. Whenever you deal damage to an enemy, you have a chance to afflict him, dealing elemental damage over time. Afflict damage. Woo. That's really good. Because my current one just gives me some attack speed. This does mean that I should probably mess with my attributes. Which is the one that gives me the max mana? This one. Which is also the really good one across the board. For kind of all-rounder. Because yeah, more max mana, Ancestral Strike chance. And then eventually also gets us aura increased hit, mana on hit, inner fire duration, and life regen. Cost of skills you cast reduced by 5% for every secondary skill cast. That should be fine. We'll have to see how my mana shakes down with this. Damn. That's some good damage. Okay, Book Smash has gone up. Here's the other thing I should check. Let's see. Here we go. We also have access to arcane missiles, now temporal. Deals additional damage equal to 1% of your max mana, which is very good. Whenever you or an arcane clone casts arcane missile, you have a chance to cast 2 remnants of arcane missiles. Ooh. I think the additional damage based on max mana is probably a better idea. 10% of max mana. Yeah, I'm gonna go for this for now. Because this is really gonna crank my damage. Wow, we hit like a freaking truck in comparison to where we were at earlier. I appreciate that. Okay, what was I gonna say? Brain off games. I like brain off games where the actual gameplay isn't too complicated. It's more about the build theory crafting between runs during downtime and stuff like that. It feels so much more satisfying in that position. Oh, this guy's left. Exalted Breaches give you a powerful bonus for a short period of time. Make it count. Okay. What's left, though? Thought there was going to be another breach. There's a common item I think I've missed, but maybe that's okay. Okay, Exaltation of Haste. I think we can live with that. Okay, here's the last one. Alright, let's just make some new friends and really scale this up. Not that it's like giving me that much extra Slorm, all things considered. But like still 14% ain't bad. Alright, there we go. We have more games. I don't know, I think I just crave games that give me a lot of tactical and build options. There's another villager. This compass is actually helpful. And it's more about like min-maxing and figuring out a good build than like, can you dodge or parry at the correct time? Okay. Thank you for getting me out of this sordid place. I was able to steal a few valuable goods before you came. I'll show you my loot when we get back to the village. Okay, technically there was more, but eh. Alright, let's go talk to her. Got another couple of points. Keep investing in that. Hi, handsome. My name's Gemma. I buy and sell all kinds of rare objects. You look like you're getting rich. We should do business. You can take a look at my goods if you want. Okay, so she sells things. Hold, drag, middle click to sell. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Fair price buyback. Okay, let's first take a look at things. I'm pressing inventory. Let's see. Some mana regen. I think the thing is, I'm not even going to think too hard about most of my gear. Not yet, anyway. You know, is there a reason for me to get to save these? I guess I should have been looking for maybe amulets and rings. But that's okay. Fair price sell. Purchase Slormites. Slorm lines. Slormdermites fragments? What are these things? Okay, reforge equipment. Got it. Purchase a random container containing 5 pieces of equipment. A random rarity. Interesting if I want to gamble. And this is equipment sales. So, nothing particularly good. You can try gambling. Okay, none of it is any good. Yeah, I did some amount of gambling in Diablo 2, and it largely was not worth it. Unless I could identify an item that was like from a later act, that was useful. But that was usually about it. It's good to see you again. Oh, wait, no. It's good to see you again. I see you found your first Slorm Reaper. Excellent, excellent. I hope you like it. Did you know Slorm Reapers can only be found by destroying Slorm breaches? So if you're looking for no new Slorm Reapers, it's best to look where breaches are appearing in large numbers, like expeditions. Fair enough. Oh, he has more to say. If the new Slorm Reaper you find seem weaker than the one you're using, I might have a little something that'll be of interest to you. It's an amulet I got from an ancient champion. I never passed it to Brian because he was notoriously incompetent. May his soul rest in peace. Hey. I hope you find it useful. Okay, new amulet. And this one does raw damage. Level of your Slorm Reaper becomes equal to the highest level Slorm Reapers up to 25. That's interesting. Not that good, but it means I can swap kind of quickly. Okay. That should be the repairing kit. Left my shovel compass repair kit here, but I don't remember exactly where I left it. Need a few minutes to remember. Careful, monsters are coming. Oh good, it's just wave survival. I can work with these. Hopefully at some point we get like piercing and homing, because I feel like that would be the thing that really makes this character sing. Kinda wish I could scale this up so it was more aggressive. Because, this easy. Yeah, the problem is that cooldown makes it so we're unlikely to get a... Unlikely. Not impossible, but it's unlikely that we're going to get a kill streak going with this kind of system. Unless it pauses, but I'm not betting on it. There we go. It's interesting playing this game, how much it just kind of deconstructs, I'm going to say standard, ooh, getting a little choppy here, standard hack and slash action RPG. There we go. Design? Like, one of the big problems that I really didn't like about, old Diablo, new Diablo? Diablo in general. Is that I don't really care too deeply for procedurally generated level design. I find it kind of boring. Even though, yes, I'm like a big roguelike player. It's usually just not my thing. Class specialization. Interesting. We'll deal with that later. When I'm not currently being beset by boners. You heard me. Okay, yeah, there's our kill streak, but it's gonna run out before I get to... No? Yeah, ran out right before I could actually do something with it. Maybe this group won't be a problem. Yeah, the book just doesn't excite me in the same way that just Pew Pew does. Okay, is there anybody left? No. Let's see. What was I going to say? But in this case, I think the levels are fully procedurally generated, or at least the story missions are hand designed, but in a way that feels very procedurally generated. It's a game that drops its pretenses. I think it'd be the easy way I'd put it. That it's just a fun kind of looter romp rather than anything that's trying to be like big or bombastic. Like I think that's something I'll always go back to with like Borderlands. Maybe I'm alone in this one. I like the idea of games like Borderlands, the looter shooters and whatnot, but I kind of wish there were some more of them that were a little bit more like roguelike-y, where you're still doing the looter shooter thing, but it's meant to be repetitive, that you just kind of keep doing it over and over and over again. You go out into kind of like a survival shooter sandbox situation, but you find new guns, gear, and equipment, level up, and carry that with you. I'm trying to think of good examples of that. You're going to laugh. I remember now. I brought my shovel compass repair kit back to the village a few days ago, so it's in my cabin. Well, we can go to the village. Knew that was coming. It's all good, and got my kit back and made some repairs to the shovel compass. Now we just have to reach the crypt of the McRips to unearth the destroyer of indestructible and unbreakable seals. Crypt is located in the far end of the graveyard. You have to cross a very dangerous area to reach it. Let's keep going. Okay, let's keep leveling this up. What'd that get me? Ancestral strike chance. Unfortunately, I don't think we've gotten to ancestral legacy bits. Yeah, nobody. Yeah, not enough ancestral stones. That's a thing for later. Okay, first let's check my equipment. Anything that gives max mana would be good. Let's see. Base armor, a little bit of movement speed, sure. Max life. I think the rest of this is mostly junk. Use some new boots too. Okay, so as part of that last thing, we unlocked the ability to go for a specialist class, so we can do Devoted Scholar who messes around with the emblems, some kind of time lock ability, and like a gate. This guy gets a teleportation, gets remnant spells, which I've already liked, and then I think this one gets an arcane clone that shoots their spells. There's also arcane bond. Oh. Which does damage over time. So I was looking at, like, it was one of these. Yeah, whenever something dies from arcane bond, it does an AoE around it. That's going to be good for group clearing. I think I'm going to go with this guy. Explosions, damages, offense only. Hell yeah. So I can now use my support skill whenever I want to. So whenever you cast a skill, you get some of its mana cost back. Get extra crit damage. Crit damage is equal to half the level of the... Ooh. Equal to half the level of the Mischievous Mage. Currently not very good. Could be great later. We also just have Slormfind. I'm just investing into that because it's going to pay out. Yeah, we can only have one of these for each. I'm going to throw on Rift Nova as my right click. I don't know if it's any good, but I might as well grab it. Because yeah, I've been using Arcane Missile and liking it a lot. Alright, so I think with all that, let's keep going. I don't know how much further we have. Little detour. Shovel compass indicates a breach in this area. Sure. Shovel compass is going haywire. There must be a breach nearby. You should destroy it. Yeah, no pretenses. Just go fight things. Works for me. I was considering going for the one that scales up max mana, but most of that class doesn't really excite me too hard. Yeah, so now I've got a teledash. I don't know how often I can use it. Often enough, it seems like. Because yeah, we want to go kind of quickly here. Oh, right. Oh, the Arcane Nova's an AoE not centered on me. That's actually huge. And it does a decent chunk of damage, so I'll have to actually invest some points into that. It splits its damage between every target, but I'm still going to say that's still quite good. Especially when I'm fighting a larger group than just like a handful. Kind of like here. Maybe if I can like boost my AoEs a bunch. But I'm not like rushing one way or another to get anything. Like this is still very much Cake Town and will remain as such for a while. I do like the AoE that does split damage based on how many enemies there are left. That sort of thing, I don't know, feels weirdly good. A huge level too. It means that it's an AoE that actually has like merit against bosses and whatnot. Too many games have AoE builds that are just like, yes, but this sucks against bosses. Anytime you're up against something bigger than like bigger than a regular elite, you're kind of wasting your attacks. Not wasting your attacks, you're just DPS is bad. It's kind of like damage over time builds in so many games. Like sometimes there's good damage over time builds, but in so many games that I've played over the years, it's one of those where like, yeah, we might want to invest into some mana gain when we get the chance. Like, how many times have you ever played a keep working on that, because ideally we want to pick up the mana on hit if we can. But like playing an RPG, for example, and you come across a boss that it's like, oh, I'm just randomly immune to poison, and they're like, the ogre general. It's like, but why are you immune to poison? You know, what in your kit, what in your backstory gives you that immunity? And the answer is almost always the developers didn't feel like balancing status effects around boss fights, which sucks because that's actually when they're most valuable. You know, against a random trash fight, status effects are kind of awkward. You're better off just going for an alpha strike. Bosses are literally the only things that live long enough in most games to make a status effect build worth it, and more often than not, most games are just like, yeah, but no status effects. You know, you get to the final boss and they're immune to everything except for like 1 or 2 random status effects, and it feels weird. It feels kind of like... it feels wrong, I guess, in that circumstance. It's one of those where it's like, I mean, why even have it at that point? You know, why let somebody spec into that kind of thing? But then also, boss fights should feel like a culmination of every bit of mechanic you should, or every mechanic and like thing. Ooh, I don't like the teleportation how it handles the camera. I kind of wish instead of like locking it in place, as soon as you cast it, you would move, as opposed to like as soon as it's triggered. It's not that big of a deal, but still. And like how many different RPGs you get to the final boss and it's like, yeah, half this stuff doesn't work. It's not a culmination of anything. This is just a tank and spank, because that's the only mechanics that really work. Good luck. I'm being a little bit dismissive and generic here, but it's not an uncommon... it's like, it's such a common thing to have happen that... I don't know, I can't think of any specific ones. I want to say it's like common to the Final Fantasy series, kind of, sort of. Thank you for getting me out of this mess. Are you back in the village? Well, fair enough. I like Final Fantasy isn't the most guilty of it. They definitely have bosses you can just chuck a phoenix down at and kill instantly. And like, that's actually really cool. But I definitely remember, oh, what was it? It was like the end of, I guess it was World of Final Fantasy, which, you know, kind of weird Monster Collection spin-off. But that one had some real frustrating... do we want this? I mean, it is actually better than what I had. Let's see, what about this one? Slormancer? Nah. Mostly just looking for anything that gives me max mana. But I definitely remember the ending of, like, World of Final Fantasy. The final boss on that one was just, like, a giant turd. And I think I'm immune to a lot of status effects. My name is Palstrang. I'm a pudding at the service of the king. Normally, I'm in charge of the administration of the village, and I make sure everything's running smoothly. Like other puddings, I have Slormartifer's talents. With Pedro's shovel compass, I think I'll be able to help you. If you're interested, I can show you areas where your presence of enemies is particularly intense. It must be important for Oh My God to mobilize his troops there. If you wish, you can then go to the indicated region and regain control of the area. Okay, so this is the randomized dungeon mode. Okay, expeditions let you go to new and unexplored areas from this menu. You can choose where you want to go, what difficulty level suits you. So, reward per breach, so we can choose the wrath level, but we need to get more. So we can do battlefield journey, random and ever-changing environment, or fixed environment, no bosses. Interesting. And we get access to more of this as we go along. Sure, let's do a very quick one. I should probably end this video sooner or later. Okay, so it also looks like... let's see. I'm just gonna piss off every rift here since I'm not in too much danger. There we go. Cataclysmic breaches. Apply a modifier. Oh, okay. Probably just gonna stick to shooting things with my regular attacks. AoEs are good. If I could get it so the AoE applies a status effect, now that would be extremely good. Ah, so that's what emergency healing is good for. That's fine. Okay. But yeah, this gets me whole mess of stuff. And yeah, if I'm fast enough, I could... Oh, boy. I could really see myself... Okay, Slormite. Used by Rick Manilan. Base material reinforced equipment. Okay. Fair enough. Can't do it. Yeah, I think the teleport very much was the correct call here. Just for raw damage and somewhat reduced risk. Because I don't think I really need to build around defensive capabilities or even survivability. I can just kind of go. Especially if I get, like, life on hit. Where's the life regen? I forget. Maybe it's both with this talent. Alright. That was nice and quick. And this whole thing is that chronopuncture, whatever that's good for. It feels like I'm leveling zippy. What's the next one? Max mana. Cost of skills reduced by 5%. I don't think I'm going to be using that one too much. If it was easier to dance, I think it'd be fine. Okay. Bag both of these. And then leave no survivors. There we go. We also get Shockwave Staff of Havoc. So we can go back to the village, collect your rewards, and keep going. We do lose influence and rewards if we go too much. Or too far. But it's fine. Most expeditions close breaches. Close a breach, okay. Yeah, I'll have to kind of pay attention. Just in case, like, I end up doing something too risky. Like, if things get really hard, I'm bailing. But yeah, this is very much just the full random grind mode, which I don't hate. One of my favorite games as a kid was Dragon Warrior Monsters, and God, I shouldn't... The temptation to go back and like start doing series again is overwhelming sometimes. So I'd really love to record like a full series on Dragon Warrior Monsters 1 and 2. They're ancient, and I don't think it would actually be worth it, but it's still tempting. Record something on that game at some point, maybe. I guess I do have the ability to record them now. I've got a analog pocket that I picked up last year, so I could actually play and record some old Game Boy Advance games that I own. And yeah, I suppose that would give me the ability to just plunk in a Game Boy game and just get to recording. I know there's always like Yarhar emulation stuff, but I don't really... I'm not comfortable with the idea of... I'm not really comfortable with the idea of emulation or piracy to sustain my channel. I've known a couple of YouTubers that do that like, they don't care. And it's always felt iffy to me, just because it's like, you know what? I mean, I guess it also kind of depends. It's definitely not something I'd be okay with for, like, an indie game. Like, pirating an indie game would feel very bad to me. Regardless of, like, whether or not I was making a video on it. Just because whoever made that game presumably needs the game to do well so they can make, you know, keep putting out games. And so, you know, you pirate a small studio's game and they shut down a couple months later and it's like, yep, that just feels bad. So I don't. I think it's a little bit different with like a bigger studio's game from like a couple years ago, but even then, you know, I don't personally need to. Some areas are affected by Cataclysm. Battlefield. Okay, I have less life leech. That's okay. I didn't have any life leech to begin with. I think this is a boss fight. Addy Grandad, the Destroyer. Okay. I was not quite ready for a boss fight. Oh. I was not ready for a boss fight, but I'll make it work. What I really need is more healing. Health regen, something of that sort, to really make this work. Okay, how do I... Oh. Yeah, because I can't hit through his... I can't hit through his shield. What is that? Okay. That's just a cooldown. I think I'm going to have to rely on the secondary hit. Maybe there's some way to break that shield? I don't know. But it seems like the most practical thing for me to do at the moment is mostly just run in circles. And just stay firmly away from him. Since I can't hit him anyway. Okay, we level up. That's good stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to keep turbo nuking him. There we go. That's some good equipment. I saw the experience and I thought for a second I might have gotten like a purple item, and I got excited. Let's take a look at some things. We've got a new Slorm Reaper. Shockwave Staff of Havoc. Life regen, but I don't know where I get that. Yeah, aura increased effect. Damage reduction. Mana on hit. Fire duration, mana on hit. Secondary skill has a chance to silence things. There's the life regen. Way freaking down there. Probably still worth it. Okay, let's check my inventory. I think I have a new ring. Level 10, yeah. We do lose the emergency healing, which is kind of a downer. Oh, wait, no, we don't. Life on hit. A little bit of mac. Yeah, sure. I think it's fine. I don't think we need it. But this one. No. Is that pretty much all of it? And then the rest is just gear and equipment and junk. I think let's head home for now. I like the randomized dungeons, I think, a little bit better than the actual adventure mode. Okay, get influence whenever we return from an adventure. Yeah, but what is this influence for? Hero experience, Reaper experience. I don't know. Because, yeah, we haven't gotten anything for the Ancestral Legacy yet. Okay, let's keep the McRipped ring around just because. Feel weird if we sold that. Okay, then we can keep going. What else was it? What else was I talking about? Actually kind of lost it. Not that it matters too much. What a strange feeling. There's a curious evil rampant around here. I'm feeling all bloated. Yep, nope. Brain, whatever topic I was on, it has fled my mind. And that's okay, like, I don't need to finish my thoughts. I'd like to. If, for some reason, like, I know I could go refresh it, but it's easy to get distracted. Sometimes I'm very good at staying on topic, but I think I'm just sleepy today. Oh, right, I should probably actually boost some of my skills, now that I'm thinking about it. Because, in retrospect, I've probably got a decent amount of Slorm that I can just dump into things. Oh boy, I sure have. Okay, extra mana regen, that's pretty good. I can scale it up a little bit. But not too much. Whenever you cast your primary or secondary skill, temporal clones... Yeah, but I don't have any temporal clones at the moment. I need more. A totem effect. Let's go back and take a look at this. Oh. Instead of casting Arcane Missile, you now create an Arcane Clone that continuously casts it. Here's some fork chance. We also have cast again an Arcane Stack. Lose all stacks if you reach the stack limit. Gain additional projectile for every Arcane Stack you have. Isn't that, like, incredibly good? Mastery 6. Okay, we don't have that one yet. I want to try this. Which means to some degree we want to go back to this one. Because the mana regen is tempting. Oh, cool. So if there's something I don't have equipped, I can actually get the Slorm back. That's really nice. Because that way, if there's something I've invested into that I do not like, I can say, nope, get it back. Let's see. Because, yeah, I could get that Slorm cost. Go for a little bit. 20% of its cost back. Whenever you gain life from life leech, life on hit, life on kill, again, that's the same amount of mana. That's kind of okay. I think most of these I don't care too deeply about, so let's just pick that one up. It's nice and cheap. We could go for more mana back. And what else do we have? Ooh, actually, ditch that. Whenever you and Arcane Clone casts Arcane Missile, you have a chance to cast 2 Remnants. Okay, total cost is a lot of mana. So that is something I should probably keep in mind. I guess in that case, let's just keep investing in Cheap Trick. Now let's see how this goes. Because this is either going to be extremely powerful or extremely stupid. Oh. It's a summoning build. It's kind of hoping the Arcane Clone. I could summon multiple of them, but I understand why I can't. This is dummy good, kind of. Because yeah, this way I can somewhat focus on my secondary attacks. If I want to. Okay, I guess we can go back in here. I really wish I could actually warp through those. I played a lot of Barbarian in... Oh, right. I also haven't looked into the Rift Nova at all. And not enough mana is the one tricky part. So it seems like the Arcane Clone lasts indefinitely. It just hangs out there. It looks like I do automatically fire at things as well. Not often, but I do. Okay. The nice part is I can just leave it in a room and have it kill everything while I leave. Okay. Big ore is a bit spooky. Yeah, like, it does a decent chunk of damage. But I think I'm gonna need that mana gain. Okay. It was this one. Yeah, more mana regen. I think it's enough, though. Back to this. Dump this a couple of times. And I could actually just get rid of that. I don't think I need it. Because that also... Yeah, oh, that was massively increasing my mana costs. Whereas that's just a passive. I think I might want to go for Arcanic Tempo more than anything else. Okay. Let's go back to this. What is this one, by the way? Chronopuncture. Attack an enemy with a time blade. Putting them in a timeless prison where they endure pain and suffering for 1,000 years, dealing massive damage. Huh. That sure is a skill. Let's see. 2 temporal emblems instead of 1. Crit damage. Does a vulnerability. Charge it up. Increased AoE size, but boy, that mana cost is punchy. I don't know. I'll probably just ignore it for the time being is the real answer. Alright, there we go. More mana regen and scales even faster. Perfect. I liked the idea of the summon clone. But I think it's better if I'm just the one doing the Rudy Tooty gun and shooty. It's faster, it's more mana efficient. I think later on, I will consider investing in some of these other ones. Oh, right, I was also going to check. We have a different Slorm Reaper, don't we? This one. What does this do? Max life, max mana. Whenever you deal damage to an enemy with a primary skill like damage, chance to trigger a shockwave. Okay. That's kind of tempting. This just does more damage. I think I'll stick with it. The shockwaves could be really good for group clearing, though. I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Okay, no, those are good. Because, yeah, the one problem with this skill is it does not have much for AoE. And, you know, if I had Pierce or something, that would do the trick. But I don't have Pierce. So I'm kind of on my own in that regard. And that's okay. Let's see. God, this video has probably gone on way too long, but I'm having a good time with it. It's one of those kind of brain-offy games where I mean, I know I was talking about that, where I can just kind of chill and relax and just have a casual time without having to think too hard about it. And instead, I get to just think about, I mean, the thinking is mostly dedicated to the idea of like, okay, what's my build going to be? And being able to, let's see. Being able to focus like more of my efforts on build crafting than like, you know, dodging and parrying at the right time. I know I've already talked about this in this video, but it somewhat bears repeating on a personal level of just like, it feels so much better. And yeah, those shockwaves are actually extremely good. Because I'm not going for that mana build. I could. It'd be a really interesting type of run. And I really like the fact that you are not locked into your builds. Too many games specifically don't let you respec, whereas in this one, it's full about the experimentation. Oh, you don't like your build? Oh, you want to try something else? You totally can. Only thing I don't know if you can change is your specialty. Like whatever your class specialization. But I bet you can. I bet that's somewhere. Ow. That did a smidge of damage to me. How dare it? But yeah, this way we don't have to invest too hard towards going for max mana. This way I just have oodles of mana regen to keep me fairly hale and hearty and mostly shooting all the time. I can see going for like damage based on max mana being very strong later on, but not at the moment. And that's okay. Owie. Actually, that does hurt. I probably shouldn't just zip through. We have nothing more to do here. Let's leave this strange place. I'm too old for this nonsense. Well, who are you? You must be very brave to face the armies of Agad alone. Ah, yes, the adventurer. I gave you a Slorm Reaper. Sorry, I'm a little confused. I think I got a little something that might help you. Come see me when you get back to the village. Okay, got anything else? And a hat. But I think that's it. Alright. Head on home. So I think at this point I'm going to call it here. I could keep going, and maybe I will. On or off camera. We will see. You're going to laugh. I just remembered something. To get into the crypt of the McRips, we need the keys to the crypt. Get them a little further away. We'll have to think about getting them back. Okay. Let's see. What was I going to say? I don't know. I like this game. Obviously, I'm a little distractible. I'm a little sleepy. I was out in the sun for a couple hours, and I always notice I get kind of toasty afterwards, or I'm just a little sleepy, a little slow. That's fine. Ah, there you are. I have a small reward for you. To thank you for getting me out of there. I have something called an ancestral stone. Oh, it's the ancestral stones. I don't need to read this. Yeah, so new talent tree. Okay, saw a magnificent hat in the head of the necromancer that was roaming around the graveyard. Need that hat. I'll give you a new ancestral stone if you bring it back to me. Okay, so we at least get one. So if you take a look at this, this is kind of a talent tree. So I can work towards getting something. So ancestral skill, draw lightning seal, does damage. It's okay. You have extra raw damage if you have less than half of your normal life. Line of frost pillars. Or is toggled on, enemies have lower attack speed nearby. Raw damage, damage elites, and extra health regen. Elemental damage. I don't even know what that does. Raw damage, crit strike damage. Gold fine, Slormite fine, and item rarity. It only goes up to a 10% bonus. Attack speed, armor penetration. That's good. Okay, or we have flashing darts. Well, it's toggled on. Whenever you hit an enemy with your primary or secondary skill, create a flashing dart. Was triggered on. Ooh. Your mana regen is reduced to 0, though. Damn. The rest of that seemed like a cool deal. Half a point per rank. This just goes up to a 1% per. Silly as it is, I'm probably going to go for that. Oh, and I can always remove it if I... Like, I can remove it and do other things if I want to. Granted elemental damage. Oh. Grants elemental damage. Rate of... Okay. Actually, I'm going to nix this. Who's this one? Please tell me that this is considered elemental damage. I have no idea. Actually. Arcanic. Oh, it is elemental damage. Okay, cool. So I can actually go back to this. We can invest this in here. And we can do elemental damage. That's a nice flat little bonus. Alright, well, I think with all of this said, this is a very good stopping point, at least for now. Gotten pretty far. Didn't clear the first act, but I've made a decent amount of progress on it. That's fun. Let's see. Anything else to say? Not too much. If you want to see the gameplay for the other classes, I actually have those featured on my previous videos on this game. They're a little out of date, but I think they're still a pretty good view of what this game is. I think for the most part, the whole game is pretty samey in terms of, like, you know, how the different classes play. It's just a little bit more like melee attacks, different ranged moves, different build potential. I know the archer was all about, like, tons of projectiles and stuff, and this one seems a little bit more about alpha striking. And that's pretty good too. I don't know. Anyway, I guess before I go, I should mention that, of course, Slormancer 1.0 is available now on Steam, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. It's $20, which I think is a fair price for what it is. There aren't that many good hack-and-slash action RPGs. I guess there's a bunch of them, but they don't come out that often. And so this is probably one of the better indie ones that I've played in a while. Obviously, the production value is a little, you know, hard to hold a candle to, say, Last Epoch, Path of Exile, or Grim Dawn. But on the flip side, it punches way above its weight class, and the amount of, like, different customization you can do, and the amount of just, like, stuff packed into this game is nothing short of impressive. But I guess with all that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.